Hello and welcome to Best of 3 an Esports podcast by Organized Gaming. I'm your host, Mike.
Is that me?
That's you.
I'm Alex.
And with us today, we're joined by Roy El-khouri, the CEO of eDoxa. Roy, it's so nice to have you here. How are you doing?
Oh,
Roy, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me today.
Go.
Now, Roy, you have a very, very rich history of just esports in general. Can you tell us a little bit about who you are and what led you to where you are right now?
Yeah. So basically, I studied in bachelor in economics and politics, which has nothing to do with esports. And after that, I did a specialized graduate studies in management at HEC.
Okay.
And this is where I got the bug to start my own startup. So it was super cool. I really concentrated all my studies there on startups, how to start a startup, on accounting, marketing, everything I needed to start a new business.
Yeah, so you're joining us this week. Sorry, you're joining us this week to, as part of Level 6's Season 1 cohort. Because you're the CEO of eDoxa, and there are 4 companies as the first season of cohorts in Level 6. We wanted to highlight all of them, and this month we'll be doing that. So I just wanted to get that out of the way and give people a little bit of background as to why we have Roy here today. Before we go any further,
Thank you, Alex. Let's keep going. You're talking about your schooling. So, what kind of things about what you were doing, kind of got your feet into startup culture?
So basically, it was my dream to start a business from the beginning. So I took the long way to HEC. And during my school, I started a small business with my best friend. Did not work out, unfortunately, but. But at some point, I started working at a freight forwarding company, which I didn't like. I didn't appreciate working at that place. It was a big company, big vibe, big business where you had to go through a lot of hoops before getting to what you wanted to do. I wanted to change a lot of stuff. I wanted to modernize how we worked. And I was looking for a new job at a startup where I could actually do whatever I wanted to do with my ideas and improve the business. So I found a company called Tractic, applied, got really lucky getting into it in a sales position there. Early on, we were about 50 people at that business, and we skyrocketed to about 150 employees before I left. So it was a great learning experience there. And this is at that time, halfway through working at Tractic, I started eDoxa with my brother and one of his friends called Francis. So this is how we got together. My brother wanted to do a geek center. We were really into animes, Magic the Gathering, Halo, Leagues of Legend, all those kind of cool stuff. And we wanted to do something with our passion, which we were absolutely wanted to try out. So I looked into it because I wanted to start a new business again. And I was
once an entrepreneur, always an entrepreneur. You just you keep looking for that next.
Absolutely.
Stay hungry.
Every day, I have a million ideas. I could start any business anytime. That's not that the ideas. This is not a problem. It's just actually doing everything I wanted to do. So I was thinking about it, looking into maybe starting a internet cafe place with computers, doing competitions, allowing people to make some money while competing. And I was looking into the numbers. I'm like, fuck, this is going to be expensive, and we're not, and we don't have the money to start that kind of business. Paying for rent, paying for computers, it's not going to be viable for us personally. What I found out. So I'm like, why not use the internet? Everyone games on the internet. Everyone is playing from home. Why not just try that? So we got the idea from there. My brother jumped on the opportunity. One of his friends was studying in development, so in software development, and he was super excited to try to jump in the venture with us, and that's how eDoxa started, basically. on a whim, trying to just do something with our passion, basically.
Mm-hmm. And so, what was it that kind of directed you toward esports specifically? Is it just through passion, or was there an opportunity that you saw that you kind of jumped on?
Listen, I was personally frustrated in the idea that like playing video games was not seen in a positive light. I'm like, this is something I love. Why shouldn't I be proud of playing video games? And I remember my parents telling me, "Hey, stop wasting your time on video games. Go find a job. Go do something a bit more interesting." I'm like, and that stuck to me for a good amount of time. I'm like, why can't I make money while playing video games? And honestly, I'm not that good. Okay. So I wanted to find a venue, something that can help casual gamers like me make some money on the side while playing video games. That simply. So that's how like I really wanted to help the casual gamers out there to do something while they're playing.
That's great. That's great. And so we're definitely going to get into a little bit about what eDoxa is.
Yeah.
But just before that, I do want to just I want to understand a little bit more about you. So you are a avid League of Legends player. I'm hearing that you're into a lot of the kind of geek culture. You know,
I heard you were into Halo.
Oh, yes. We would play nonstop at Halo. Like after school, come back home. We had our crew. Let's hop on our Xbox, hop on our Xbox, and just start playing all night. So nice. We would love it. We would love it and just hang out. We would actually go to our friend's place and just bring all our equipment there and just play all night together, and it would be just crazy setup, like 3-4 TVs in the basement and all the guys playing and just switching whenever the worst player of the match would switch off and tap out. Exactly. So it was a really cool experience to live through. And after we jumped on the League of Legends game, that went we started to be a lot more competitive at that point. I see. And at some point I had to stop because it was I stopping or I lose all my friends because I was way too frustrated and way too competitive in that sense. So it was a good times.
Would you be more into the recreational aspect of it, or were you actually trying to dive into any kind of the pro scene?
No, not at all. More recreational, not like pro scene was. We were not that good enough to get there.
Well, I think the interesting thing about the two games that we brought up, like Halo and League of Legends, is that they're both casual games, but also very competitive games. You can do both, and they fit nicely into both categories, I think. So those are great games for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I agree with that. All right. And so with that, I think we're going to take our first break. When we come back, we're going to get right into what eDoxa is. I want to talk to you about your vision, how it is that you're really trying to make it work, and so much more from there. So we will be right back. When we come back, we're going to keep that conversation going. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a second. Welcome back to Best of 3 in our conversation with Roy El-khouri, the CEO of eDoxa, which is exactly what we're going to be talking about for the next couple minutes. Roy, how about you tell us a little bit about
what is eDoxa?
Thank you for saying the question I was about to say.
No, the word itself. What is eDoxa?
Oh. The word? Oh, so cool story behind that. We were looking for a name nonstop. We spent so much time on that. And my wife, at some point, she just translated glory into Greek, and or like the old meaning of glory in Greek meant doxa. The definition changed in time, but the original meaning was glory. And we want to represent the glory of winning games, of winning competition, that feeling behind the winning those competitions. And the E was electronic, so esport, electronic glory, basically.
Definitely. Okay, cool.
So this is basically how you achieve e-glory.
Exactly.
Let's go. All right, so let's tell us exactly what eDoxa is.
Yeah, so just before maybe I talk about what eDoxa is, for me it's really important to start off always with why we started the business. For us, it was
Cool.
really important to help unlock every gamer's potential so that they can be proud to live their dream, and that's the number one reason why we started our business, and this is why we're driven every day to work toward that mission and that dream. So how do we do that? How do we help all those casual gamers to live their dream? Is by organizing web-based competitions. Those competitions are not necessarily like tournaments. It's a more of a leaderboard approach to competition, where the goal is to accumulate the most points in a specific time frame. So for Leagues of Legends, if we take that game as an example, you have to play, like for example, a minimum of 5 games out of maybe 10 or 15 games, and we take your 5 best games you've played in that specific time frame, and we do an average of your points, and the one with the most points wins the competitions. So that's the really brief way of what are we doing, what are we doing on a daily basis at eDoxa.
So it would be feasible then to play a lot of games and try to like sort of boost your score up. You can be competitive by a little bit more than just skill, right? So
exactly. So
more accessible.
It's all skill based, but also you have to grind. So it happens that some one game, 1 or 2, 3 games can not be that good, and you still want to like take back and just try again. And so that's why we give a next amount of maximum number of games you can play in order to upgrade your score.
Right.
Cool. I like that.
And so why that approach specifically? What drove you to have that best of mentality when it comes to this?
Makes sense. Listen, we wanted to automate the process from A to Z. So it's really hard to automate tournaments. It's not impossible, but it's harder. So we wanted just to start off with a simple concept of leaderboard approach, where everything was automated from A to Z. No manual input of your score, how many kills you got, how many deaths and assists and so on. So we connected the game directly. So the only thing a user has to do is to connect his summoner name to our platform, and afterwards just start playing. And when he plays, we just take those games.
You don't have to download anything. You don't have to.
No downloads.
Wow, that's super easy. Okay.
Yeah. No downloads, no nothing. You just literally connect to your summoner name to eDoxa and just start playing when you're in a specific competition.
Oh wow, super easy stuff. Okay, so what do sort of these competitions look like then? Leaderboard, like what is it based on? Sort of winning games or how well you do in these games?
So it's we have about 5 or 6 stats in the scorecard: kills, death, assist, minion kills, damage dealt, damage taken, and win. Win is also a big factor.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So you don't necessarily have to win though.
No, you don't need to win, but winning helps you get even more points.
Sure. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
And also time.
Oh, like the amount of time that a game took.
Yes, the duration of a game, because what we've found is that people, the goal, what we want to help and achieve is reducing the amount of time you're playing. So someone that finishes the game in less than 30 minutes, his points are going to be boosted with our scorecard.
Okay,
right.
Okay.
This makes sense. And so you're starting with League of Legends specifically because that is the game that you're passionate about?
Yes, it was the first game that we were really like the most competitive about us while using that game and playing that game, and it was the easiest also to connect to. So to just validate our concept and validate what we were thinking about the online competition. That League of Legends had the option of connecting to that game in an easy fashion compared to other games that's not that easy.
Right.
That's true. There are a lot of games out there that keep a lot of their stats very close to the League, and Dota and CS:GO, I believe, are 3 games that are very open source,
fairly open. Yeah.
Exactly, with their results and with their stats. So I can imagine how it would be a fairly simple start to bring in those companies that are already giving out those stats anyway.
Exactly.
So, and that in mind, I say CS:GO and Dota specifically also because I did see them on eDoxa on the site. I assume that those are other games that you're looking to bring in over time.
Absolutely. And right now we also apply for an API key for Valorant. So the second we get that key, absolutely will be running to add that game on our website as soon as possible. But all depends on when those keys will be made available for most companies.
Mm-hmm.
So it all depends on Riot, basically.
Yeah, Valorant is a huge game right now and just sort of took over a lot of things. So
exactly.
Great game to get into.
If anybody wants to kind of remind me on the status of Valorant right now, I'm not particularly sure where it's at right now. Is it good yet? Is it still melting computers, or what's happening?
Now it will tell you if
that it's melting your computer.
Yeah. So now people know you have the option of not running the game, or which they're like, hey, you can't play this game unless you do all these things when it might melt your computer or whatever it is, right? So it tells you that it's going to turn off any fans or whatever it's going to do. But I think they recently just came out of beta as well. So
you released 2 days ago, I think.
Yes, I think it was this week. So I haven't played though. I've just watched a lot of streams.
My friend, everyone, like a lot of my friends that are also playing League of Legends, I'm like, dude, you have to get into Valorant. Get into Valorant. Roy, please get into Valorant. I'm like, dude, guys, I would love to. I just need a key.
Now it's out of beta. So is it? Yeah,
so now you don't have
free to play. Everybody can play. Yeah, no excuses.
For the keys, it's not yet out, so it's maybe out of beta.
For your end, yes.
For my end, it's not there yet. Though I'm checking every day, but I think they're gonna take a bit more time. Before going out with the API, they're gonna take maybe a couple of months before giving people keys. But so far, playing the game, you can play it. Getting the data, it's a different story.
Fair enough. Are there any other games on your radar right now?
Also, Clash Royale. We want to get into the mobile sphere. Clash is a competitive game, easy, casual. Anyone can start playing. It's super
right
it's
in that niche. Yeah,
exactly. For us, it's a good game for us.
Yeah, mobile gaming is doing really well, and I know myself as an example. I'm playing a ton of mobile games. How can I say this? To keep it more casual, you know what I mean? The competitive games like the Valorants, the Dotas, it's very stressful, and the mobile games I've been enjoying. I can sit on my couch, play a little bit, be competitive for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then I can hop off or whatever.
I'm incredibly competitive when it comes to mobile gaming.
Same here.
It's like, oh man, Clash. Yeah, like back in the day, I used to play Clash. I don't play it as much anymore, but definitely Clash, and I know it still has a huge audience. Used to play Hearthstone on my phone a lot. I still play TFT on my phone a lot. Just lots of competitive mobile gaming experiences. I'm surprised too that it's not before this whole COVID thing happened, like I'm surprised that there weren't as many meetups for mobile gaming. There was definitely a lot more meetups and a lot more esports tournaments in places like Asia or other places around the world when it comes to mobile gaming, not so much in North America.
Listen, I was speaking with the president of LANETS in Montreal. They organize that yearly big event in Montreal. And I'm like, guys, I don't understand. Mobile gaming, it's almost 50% of the market. You should at least do something about
huge.
It.
Everybody has one of these. Like
exactly.
I don't get it. They should, and you're right. Yeah.
And I think like the underlying problem for mobile gaming is people like in the esport industry, people don't take them seriously, and that's one reason why there's not that many competitions we see here in North America. But it's starting to get here.
That's good.
Well, so to use something as an example, like if you travel to Asia, I traveled to Asia last year actually, and I was able to see just the amount of real mobile gaming that's happening. Not that I'm going to discount like Candy Crush is a mobile game. Yes, you're mobile gaming, but I mean like more hardcore stuff. Real strategic things, more competitive games. They're a lot of the general public plays these types of games in Asia, going on the subway and everything like that. It's just a lot more accepted there, and I think that leap to esports is a lot easier. Here, we don't take it seriously at all, and even a lot of the mobile gamers here, we see them as Candy Crushers or whatever it is. So
it's interesting that you say the leap to esports, because that's basically what you see in any given game as well. Like for League of Legends, it had a hyper competitive scene, so the jump to esports was super easy. For Dota, exact same thing. Everybody there yet had a little bit of an older audience, so people who wanted to compete and make a career and make money off of what they're doing was a lot easier to do. But then you look at games like Hearthstone. Hearthstone had a long way to go to reach esports status and to reach a wider audience of people who wanted to compete, because originally Blizzard packaged it as a non-competitive game.
Oh,
yeah. When they first started it, they were like, okay, no, we're not doing any esports with this. And then people started making like bootleg tournaments, and they're like, okay, well, let's make an esport.
Gotta do it. Yeah.
But it's funny also, like for Magic Online, they're taking a completely different path. Like they want it to be competitive. They want they have in their game, they have like last weekend, they just released a cash pricing for tournaments of Magic Online. So that's really incredible to see a game taking it so seriously, where other games, it's just a side thing. It's not that important, which it is, but they're not focusing too much time and energy on the esport market.
The entire ecosystem of Magic sort of hinges on the events and competitions that happen, though. Without that, they really have nothing. All of the ecosystem whole falls apart. So they're collectors and everything, but people want to play. So
that's exactly why I started. Before we were playing like every Friday, me and my friends. Now we can't. So I need my Magic fix here.
There you go. Yeah, you got to get some Friday Night Magic in. Absolutely. So that's the other games that you're looking into collaborating with for eDoxa. Are there any other, I want to say, companies or
who do you want to
other
work
types
with?
Of people who eDoxa would benefit working with?
So there is one company I'm looking really forward to work with. Ubisoft Rainbow Six would be an amazing title to have. They don't have an API, and that's something that we would like to work with them to get to that point and offer them like a space for their casual gamers, because Ubisoft are focusing a lot on their pro scene, which is really great, but the casual scene, not that much. So, and it's a lot more complicated, more expensive to focus on that market, on the casual scene. But for us, it's easy. It's automated. Right. There's not that much more that we need to do just by adding a game and connecting our platform to that game, and we're good to go.
Right.
So it reduces the cost of acquisition, and also to just maintain that scene in a more in a more fun way. Let's put it that way.
I see.
So that's one company I wish we could work with, and also they are in our backyard.
Yeah, right there. So they're in Montreal as well. Is that correct? You're in Laval, I think you said.
Laval, yeah, but Montreal again, not too far.
Pretty close.
30 minutes.
Gonna jump, yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Go. All right, so that is eDoxa. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take one more quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to get a little bit deeper into kind of the specifics of eDoxa. I want to get into the nitty gritty. I want to see what kind of challenges there are and how you overcome it. And then I want to ask you a couple questions. We're going to do that when we come back from our next break. We'll see you then. Welcome back to Best of Three in our conversation with Roy El-khouri, the CEO of eDoxa. We just finished talking about what it is that eDoxa is, and all of the things that went into making it. But what I want to know is what kind of challenges are you facing at eDoxa right now or over the past couple months? I mean, obviously, COVID's been a big thing. I'm curious if that has kind of affected you at all. How's that been?
COVID for us did not affect us as a company so far. Thankfully,
they are an online company. Great.
Exactly,
Good
online company. We don't have any issues. We all work from home. Not a problem from there. So it didn't really affect us to say, but our real challenge is like we're so young right now. It's only been more than 3 months.
You said you
in June here.
Launched in February, is that right?
Yes,
so like
end of February.
Right when COVID started too. So great timing.
Great timing for that, but honestly, it wasn't that bad. We're learning a lot about the business, about the market, how to adapt, and what to bring on our platform, because the platform is so young. We're in the beta stage. We're just we wanted to have something to show, something to try as quickly as possible on a platform. So it's not complete yet. We're still a lot of work to do, and we have a couple of challenges. Obviously, number one would be user acquisition. Number two, retention, and three, development. Frank, our CTO, has been working relentlessly on the platform. He learned everything from A to Z, and developed it on his own. We did have like an intern for a couple of months that helped him also, but honestly, he's a beast. And all of that while he was sick. He had like a back problems. So
that's that drive and passion, though.
Honestly,
make it happen, to make it.
I don't know how he did it, and props to him. So finally, the last challenge would be just find someone to help him out. Like we were looking right now, we're actively looking for a front end developer to help us design and implement the front end front end work of our platform. He did a good job design wise. It's not he's not a designer. There's a lot of room to improve there. But honestly, like with what he had, with the knowledge he had, he did something amazing, really great. On that part. So those are the challenges we're living through as a startup. Obviously, it's normal at our stage. There's a lot of stuff we need to add to help us support in with the retention and for the user acquisition.
So do you have? So you said you launched your beta. Do you know in like February? Do you know any plans to launch the full product? Get outside of beta?
That has to be the front end, doesn't it?
That honestly, it's going to take a while. I expect maybe a year to.
Okay.
But the platform is running right now, so it's functional. Everything is working really fine. It's just a matter of like having everything in place, all the blocks, the building blocks, the foundation of the business in place before saying this is an actual releasable project. That the software is completely clean. Everything is there to really call the software a complete software. Obviously, it's never going to be complete, but
it will always be a work in progress.
Exactly.
I like that mentality, though. You don't want to put something subpar out and be like, "Hey, this is it." You want to make sure that what you're delivering is great and that it works. So, yeah.
I mean, it also sounds like the roadmap is there.
Yes, there's a lot to do, a lot of stuff, and based on the community, we're always changing and adapting what we're going to add next. So just to give you an example, the challenges we're looking on our website is our second version already. The first version was good, but there was a lot of issues because people had to wait for the room to be full before starting to play their games.
Oh, I see.
And they were telling us, hey, listen, it's taking sometimes maybe a day or two. I wanted to play now. So we've added that that quick start. We call it a marathon challenge. Basically, that's how we called it internally. Because the second I start, I have my 24 hours to play. If you start, Alex, 24 hours later, you also have 24 hours. So it's like everyone has their own timeline. They can play.
Yeah.
There's no stress there. And also another thing that our community told us, hey, we had unlimited number of games you could play. So you could play maybe 50 games in 2 days if you wanted to.
Right.
And people were coming back to us like, hey, that's a bit unfair. I only have time to play maybe 5 or 10 games max, but those other guys are playing 20, 50 games. Like, that's crazy. And we added a maximum amount of games to support that. So we're quickly adapting, quickly reacting to what our community is telling us to do and change. If it makes sense, and most of the time it makes sense. They're using it. They know like how they feel when they see something happens, and we want to make it as good as possible for them.
Before
I like that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I'm sure, Alex, you can speak to that quite a bit. You know, went through the same kind of not exact situation, but same kind of situation when getting OG started. Now, in terms of taking your time before launch, what kind of challenges did you face with that?
Oh man, so the original launch of organized gaming was a online platform, tournament platform for it was an online Dota league. So that's what organized gaming started out as. I was in the Dota community and I was like, we need to make, like, I want to play competitive games, but I'm not a pro. I just, I just want like I want some people to play with, and we can play regularly, and like some people will be better and some people will be worse, whatever. So we got like 16 teams together and we made a league for season 1. And yeah, that was really, we did the same thing. We also called that our beta launch. We really didn't know what it was going to be like to run a league. So we just got 16 teams times 5, we got like 80 people. We just got them together and we were like, this is what we're doing. And we found a lot of stuff that didn't work. We found stuff that did work, and really, you're absolutely correct in saying that it's just about listening to what they want and then giving it to them.
Exactly.
As long as it makes sense. Yeah. Because those people are, really, they're the ones using it every day, and they know what they are gonna want. And as your product, platform, service, whatever it is, improves, more people will hop on it. They'll tell their friends. If they truly like the product, they will become your ambassadors.
Exactly. Exactly. And our goal is to empower them as much as we can. Like on our Discord channel, I ask the questions, hey, what would you like to see next? More team challenges, more maybe a leaderboard, so a general leaderboard where you can see who's doing more, who's playing more, who's winning more, those kind of stuff. And that's a lot of feedback that is so valuable for us. Just to give you a simple example, on a release day of the beta, we were seeing, like, I was there. We launched it during LANETES, so it was even a different feedback loop that we were getting, because we were actually physically there and looking at them log in. And the number one issue was password.
Interesting.
Our password was uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and special characters, and people would not understand to add special characters to the password. So I would literally see him frustrated typing down their password. I'm like, what the hell is happening here? And literally, like, the weekend after, I speak with Frank, like, Frank, Ryan and me, we saw a big problem. We have to take off that special character condition on passwords. It's creating a lot of issues for no reason. So let's take it off. And literally the week after it was off. And that's like simple little stuff that we never knew it would become a problem. For us, it was super simple. Hey, let's add a special characters, just make it more secure. But honestly, after doing a lot of research, it does not make it more secure. And we just took the decision that it was better off removing that requirement. Those are little stuff, stuff like that.
It's a little thing, but it's such a major headache for a lot of people. I'm so sure I have that problem where, having to remember all these different kinds of passwords, because I don't use a password safe or whatever people use. Where, like, there are some passwords that you have to have special characters for, and some passwords that you have to have uppercase, some passwords that you have to have numbers, and like, so to hear the audience saying that, and to hear the people saying that, one, I'm impressed that they feel comfortable enough to come forward about something like that, because I'm like, wow, like, I just kind of accept it as what it is. But good on your people for really coming back to you and doing that, and even 100%. Better on you for making the change.
We have to listen.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, honestly, okay, so we opened up our online shop, and by default, I guess whatever it was on, like I think the minimum character was on like 12 or something like that for the password, and we were like, this is so outrageous. Who has a 12 character password? And like, yeah, it had all the uppercase, lowercase, special character, and it was just like way too much. There's security, and then there's you gotta be able to use it. So
Right.
Exactly.
There's security, and then there's that.
So, okay, one question I think would be perfect for you that I want to ask you. I want to know, like, you're trying to bridge that sort of gap from casual to competitive. So, like, how does somebody who's a casual gamer start getting into the competitive side? Like, what do they need to do? What has to happen?
So what's your take on that?
Honestly, listen, during this week, I interviewed one of our winners of our past event in collaboration with Summit. And one thing I've realized, casual gamers that want to become better, that want to become pro, you need to practice a lot. You need to really make sure that your art of playing that specific video game is flawless. And it takes a lot of practice. And our platform can marry that practice really well. For Leagues of Legends, for example, a lot of people practice on their solo duo queues or even flex ranks. So if you're going to practice while practicing, you can use our platform to help you get to the next level. And that specific person told me exactly that. He's like, I'm playing. I went on eDoxa. I put some money in one of the competitions. It was $5. It's not that much, but I wanted to play more competitively just because I wanted to win a bit more money. It wasn't that much, but it makes a difference on how you're performing on your day-to-day practices for that specific game. It just helps you drive more towards that, to drive you towards that goal, basically. And
yeah, imagine if you lose $5 on because you lost your practice match. You know what I mean? It's an additional motivator to keep it at a high level. That's an interesting concept, actually. I didn't think about that.
Exactly. And one thing that he mentioned to me was that person does not want to become a pro. He just want to play casually. He was a silver ranked, so basically his game is silver type of approach. So he type of player, exactly. So he's not the greatest player, but he finished second in the finals in our competition. So it shows that anyone can play. And one thing that really hit me was, like, he was telling me it was the first time he was playing. He won money playing video games, and he felt it. He won $70 on that finals. Plus, he won more money during the qualifiers. So it was like, it felt real, and it felt really good to just be at my level, be comfortable being a casual player, and just make some money on the side. And that's exactly what we're trying to drive with eDoxa.
You know what's funny? If you had a team of 5 and you joined a $500 tournament and you guys took home first place for, like, say $300, you'd get, like $60 each or whatever it is, which is actually less than what you were saying. He won like 70 or whatever. It's like a lot of these team games, they have such large prize pools because they're team games and 5 people, maybe coach, whatever. You have to divide it by 5, right? But when you start looking at it sort of at this level, you can see that the take home for an individual player is quite comparable, to joining a tournament. So 2 different, very good options that you can sort of take to compete, right?
Yeah. So I mean, break that down for me a little bit. With this individual specifically, was this did he come in as a team, or was this like individual performance?
Individual performance. He's one of our streamers that are partnered with eDoxa. It just came down to be like that. His name is King Leaf. That's his channel on Twitch, and he was playing a 24-hour stream with his friend. He didn't tell his friend that he's part of the finals. He discovered it like after the qualifier. We sent an email to all the finalists, and when he got the email, I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna participate. It's free. I'm gonna do it. I'm in. And during the 24 hours, he didn't tell his partner that he was doing the finals. At the end of his 10 games, he's like, yeah, I'm number 1 at that time. He finished. He was on the leaderboard. He was number 1. He's like, I may win $100, but at the end he finished second. But he was really happy, and it just came down. He was alone. He was playing his solo duos, he was doing duos, if I recall, with his friend, but it was only him basically.
But it was his performance that was being
his performance
recorded.
exactly. So
Cool.
that's one thing. And during the qualifiers, in our challenges, normally it's top 50% wins money, bottom 50% wins tokens. So nobody really loses something at the end of the day, and you have a lot more chances of winning money than losing.
Great. So everybody gets something. At least you get some tokens out of it, regardless. Fantastic.
Yeah, just for participating. Participation gets you so much these days.
Yeah, for sure.
You gotta look for it. You gotta look for it, people.
Yeah, I think that's a great example of casual to competitive. You know, everyone has to get their foot in the door somewhere. You just want to hey, I'll bet my friend $5 that I'll beat him this game or something. That's that starts to get into competitive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really, I think, a desire to win, and
everything all started from money matches. Yep.
Putting money on it makes you want to win. So.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
I was curious. We were working, me and my brother were talking about a different type of challenge, and one that came to top of mind. It was in Magic. There was a type of game that we called Arch Enemy, where it was 5 people against 1 person. Would you be interested in same type of challenge, but for games? So you'll be 1 player against 20 other players, and if that 1 player gets the most points versus all those 20 people, he wins the money. But if he don't, the rest of the people wins. I don't something around those lines. Would that be a bit more interesting, a bit different?
I think that would be really cool if you could get. Well, I don't know how you would do this, but it would be something like, would it be a high rank player against a lot of lower rank players, or would he be given some sort of handicap that would make him?
So I was quickly, there's nothing done so far, but quickly I was thinking maybe just giving that one person, that arch enemy, basically an advantage of playing more games. So for example, you could play up to 15 games, and the other, the other bunch would have only max of 5 games, so they have that difficulty of just getting that top score in less games, versus he would have a lot more games to play to hit that top score.
Cool. I really like it. Yeah,
I love that idea. No, I think it's great. I think the best way that I could think about it is to have somebody who's known and who is very high winning as that arch enemy, and be like, all right, beat Hungry Box. If you can take however many stocks off of this person in Smash before HBox can, great. If you can get a higher KDA than Red Mercy in 5 games versus his 10, oh, man,
that's exactly how I was thinking about it. It would be like someone, like a good a popular streamer, or anyone, like a good player that would like to try himself out, and it's gonna be win-win. You get the most points, you win. You leave with the cash. You don't. The rest of the people win.
Right. And I mean, the stakes could be anything, right? Like if you say that if the streamer wins, then a certain amount gets donated to charity. That's a great incentive as well. You could say that all proceeds go to a certain thing. There are ways to do it.
Exactly.
I think most importantly, it's fun though. This is a type of thing where I can look at a challenge like this and be like, okay, I could do this, or I can go to a 200 person tournament and probably lose immediately, and I'm out of the tournament day 1. So it's a lot less daunting. It's a lot more fun. I'm a huge fan. I love this sort of intersection of the top of the casual gamer and the bottom of the competitive, where sort of it all starts for everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I agree with that. All right, so that's an interesting little side thing that's going along with that. I like that. Any other kind of creative ideas you got going on there?
We'll stick to that one.
There you go. Okay.
Let's take all his ideas. We're gonna take all his ideas right now.
What else can you tell me? So let's talk a little bit about level 6. So
business.
You have been
Let's go.
a part of level 6 for a little while now. Tell us what that experience has been like working with them.
Actually, before we get there, I just want to again go over a little bit about what Level 6 is.
Please
So
do.
Level 6 is an esports incubator. It is also was started by Amuka Esports, so our parent company, and we're sort of all, coming together and sort of helping out with this. But what we've done is we've taken 4 fantastic companies that we found. We took applications, I think, earlier in the year, and we had everybody come out, and on a weekly basis, we would give everybody sort of lessons. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you're getting these lessons from industry professionals.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, on a weekly basis, and each cohort, each company is assigned a mentor, also another professional from inside the industry, and this is where we can. I believe it's how many weeks long is the program?
Oh God, I don't even remember.
So I think I believe it's
10
weeks, 8 to 10 weeks. It's about two and a half months long, and yeah, it's something that they're getting lessons on a weekly basis. They're working with their mentors and able to really work on these businesses. So this is the first company we are highlighting from Level 6. So please tell us your experiences with them.
Tell us what that's been like.
Honestly, it's been fantastic. One of our challenges also before Level 6 was we needed some advisors, mentors to help us just navigate through the startup life, and they brought us experts that are really fantastic, people that can actually help us on a plethora of different fields, legal, financials, how to grow our business, marketing, a lot of stuff that can help us, and that was a big turning point for our company. I'll put it that way. I cannot be more grateful for Level 6 for helping us at our stage, at the stage of eDoxa. Really like a early startup, and without them it would have been a lot more difficult to get to where we are today, and also in the future, because it's maybe going to end after 10 weeks, but we're going to still be working together closely on a long-term basis. So the advisors, the classes really have been helpful, and that is really a turning point for any type of startup, and we should have more of those. And the really great thing about Level 6 is they specialize in esport. That was one of the reasons why I chose to apply, is because we need to have more. The community, the community around esport should grow even further to help those startups everywhere from in the world, in Canada, the US, elsewhere, to grow the esport industry as much as possible.
Very cool. The thing I love about Level 6 is that even with us, we're sort of growing our community and our network, and as much as you say that Level 6 is able to help you out, you're able to come on our podcast, and we're able to support you, and we can sort of support like sort of this greater community that we're building. And I really love the fact that that's going to happen as we bring more cohorts and stuff like that will grow, more people we can work with, and I don't doubt that we will stay in contact after your program is over. So yeah.
And I mean, to toss my 2 cents of what I'm hearing into this is it's cool to have kind of an esports incubator that allows people to create this kind of network. Like you get to meet people from all over the esports ecosystem and kind of get what you can from them. You come on an esports podcast, you talk to people who know about Weagle, you talk to people who know about BD, you talk to people who know about marketing, financial. Like it just gives you the full spectrum. So I really good on you for being proactive and joining an incubator for this kind of thing. I think that's really cool.
Was it scary?
It was absolutely scary. I was really hoping to get in, and I was happy to be one of the chosen companies. And one thing that's great about Level 6 is it's an esport. It's in the esport industry, so they understand our reality. It's been so hard to speak with people that understand the esport in Montreal, like talking with investors, talking with all kind of all kind of partners or companies, or maybe even just talking about it with my parents. People don't get esport, and it's hard. But finally working with a partner that really understands that market is it makes a big difference.
And they also they understand that what you're saying, they understand that it's not being taken seriously, and they are one of the people, or some of the people, who have kind of broken through and have begun being taken seriously.
Exactly.
I think that's real cool. And by the way, I do say this as somebody who doesn't have any stake in level 6. I don't want to seem like I'm chilling here, but it's really cool. And this is things that I've been talking about forever. Just like, this is how esports businesses grow. This is how esports begins to be taken more seriously, is just from companies who take their time in, making a good product, making a good service, making a good whatever they possibly can. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Cool.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right. Yeah, that's. I think we had a good run today.
Yes, absolutely. No, it was a good run. Roy, I want to thank you so much for coming on and joining us today. Before
Appreciate
we go,
your time.
Where would you like the audience to go?
Listen, everyone should go and check out our website, eDoxa.gg, eDoxa.gg. Really simple. Go look it up. If you're a League of Legends player right now, register today. Start playing a couple of challenges. You're getting $5 for free. Every new registration gets you $5. So when you register to our website, you can start playing. You have some money. You have nothing to lose.
Not bad.
Everything to win. And also, I would just say thank you guys for inviting me here on your show. It's really great. It was a pleasure. First time, I was a bit stressed, but you made me comfortable during that podcast. So really really cool from you guys.
Appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Alex, where can people find you?
You could find me on Instagram or Twitter. Instagram KrispyKim Donut, Twitter just KrispyKim. So
there you go. You can find me at StillJustMike. Guys, Best of 3 this week was brought to you by Waves Gaming, the #1 esports venue in beautiful uptown Toronto, Canada. Make sure you go and check them out. Make sure you check out Best of 3 wherever you get your podcasts, or on Twitter at Bo3 Podcast. With that, we will see you next week. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.